Hi guys and welcome to Angling For You. Today you're joining me at Messingham Sands and we're going to do a little bit of blended corn and pellet, and we're going to aim to catch these wonderful crucians in there. They're not massively big fish, but they're just beautiful bars of gold. We're going to fish to this margin. We've been feeding a little bit of blended corn, and all that is in a fruit process. I like to use the frozen corn for that and just whiz that down. I've got some 6mm hard pellets. We've also got some of the Pro Expanders soaked here as well, just in case, but the main feed is going to be corn on the hook. Now we're just going to fish over to that first little reed that's sticking out. I'll go through the rigging a bit. We've just got one of the short top kits. The elastic in it is a little bit tight for here, but there is a chance we catch a carp, so I do want to make sure that we can get it out. But it is a solid 14 to 16 midi. And we've got these little short kits on my Garbolino pole, and we're going to be feeding a little bit of the slop blended corn in the little cad pot as we ship out. And it's really important when you fish for these really quick bites and shy bites that you need to have the float dotted down. So we've got the float dotted down, got a strung out bulk, so we get a nice steady fall, and the float will just settle down when it hits that shot, like that. Right guys, we're into the first crucian. Oh, what definitely feels like a crucian. Beautiful fish. Little bar of gold. Just a beautiful little fish crucian there. Let's get him back and see if we can have some more. So when we're feeding it, get that single grain of corn on first, and then we're just getting that slop, and pretty much we're doing it every drop, unless we miss a quick bite and we've only just fed and we can just hook a bait on and go straight back down. Then usually with this time of year I just feed continuously, and to be fair, you know, this will catch carp and everything. It's a good method. Creates a lot of scent in the water. It's still heavy, so it does drop down fast. Just drop down through the water fast, even though it's blended. It feels like a little bit better fish. Probably an F1, I reckon, this one. Had a feel of it. Yeah, that little F1. And obviously F1s love it just as much as the crucians do. Perfectly hooked. Nice little chunky F1. Beautiful little fish. Let's bring him back in and keep it going, see if we can have some more crucians. Oh, I won't mind a crucian around that size, that'd be nice. For sure. And again, get that little bit of feeding. Feels like another F1. Been a bit wild. Definitely feels like another F1. Let's keep that top kit nice and low. There's a chance it might be a small carp. No, another F1. And it is a lovely method to fish. It is this sort of sweet corn blender with a nice chunky F1. We'll try putting one of those expander pellets on before we go through the rig, and see if we can have one on one of those. Again with same feed, same bit of feed as we were in last time. You can see that feed just sits nicely in the pot, and we're just gently tipping that out. It sinks really fast. Just lower in that pellet. That's a smaller fish. Just interesting to see what went for it. Might actually be a small crucian, actually. It is. Lovely pocket size crucian. What a beautiful little fish that is. Really beautiful. Let's go back. Right, so what we'll do now, guys, is I'll turn around. I'll get the camera zoomed in a little bit, and we'll have a little go through the rig and see what we're fishing with. Hi guys. Right, so we are going to go through the rig. Starting off at the top with a Dacron, the Guru Dacron bead with the clear beads on there, and it's got a MIDI 14 to 16 high vis solid, and that's got an 018 main line, and that's Gen Pro line. And the reason we've got that is it's just down the edge you could hook something big, so you still need that sort of stability and that strength. ProGen chimp float, and it's up in a 0.2 with a really visible thick yellow tip, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 number 10s, and they're ProGen slots running down the line, and then that's down to around an 8-inch hook link, and that's 016 Gen Pro again, and it's there's a tiny little dropper number 10 around 3 inches from the hook, 2 inches from the hook, and it's a KK&B size 14, and nice and simple. On the top here we've got one of the MIDI pots, and they're dead easy to use. These MIDI patel pots. You push your finger inside it like that, and it opens up. You just push it against it, and that's it. It's on. I find them really useful, actually. I've used the Preston ones for ages, but I've got really into these because you can put them right on end of your pole, and they're just really stable. Don't move at all. So let's get back out and see if we can have a few more crucians or F1s, and maybe the odd carp, and we'll see how we get on. Right guys, so we've got that single corn on again. Just going to put a bit more slop on. And I tend to use the slop or the blended corn, whichever way you want to call it. I tend to use that in the sort of summer months or sort of May onwards when it starts to get a bit hotter. In the colder months I tend to just feed micros and corn, or just small single grains of corn, and not feed too much of it. A little bit of a foul look, I reckon, that one. Must be a few fish down there. It must have laid over the back of that one. Not going to feed on this one because we just fed straight away on that, and it went pretty much straight away, so just going to go straight back down. There we go. A little crucian. And sometimes it's just fun to catch these little crucians, or you know, smaller fish. It's not always about catching carp all the time. We all love to catch carp, don't get me wrong, and I've been obviously doing quite a lot of barbel hunting at the moment, which it's been awesome, and it's just nice sometimes, you know, to catch something different. And you don't really catch, or I don't really catch crucians very often at all now, if I'm honest. The carp seem to take over, and they certainly do on this venue. And I'm feeling that they're not ready to just get their heads down yet, the carp here. I think they've spawned, and a lot of them are on the top, and they're not ready for it. They're just not ready to get that edge. Normally throw an handful of sweet corn and you've got about 300 of them that edge, but at the moment that's not the case. Another little beautiful little crucian, lovely fish. They won't frighten me to death. Then there's actually a carp sat underneath the peg. When I dropped that in, it definitely jumped. But yeah, it's not always, like I say, it's not always about catching them. And if the littler fish are there, I'd rather be catching crucians and F1s than roach, this time of year anyway. It's nice to catch good sized roach, especially like trotting and things on the river, but certainly when you go to commercial, it's the bit bigger fish that you're after. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. So we've just gone on about catching roach, although that is a lovely roach. It looks like a hybrid, actually. A roach bream hybrid, that one looks like. Definitely. But I can see that there's some scrubbing next to that reed, so there is a possibility that we may enter into a carp at some point. Fingers crossed we can just snare one or two, but we'll see. To another fish, just lifted that over the reed. It's only a small fish still. One, by the look of it. Another little fish to finish. Now guys, it's like I said, I'm not on this session to just bash out carp. It's just to be about showing you sometimes the method on how to have a good session. And you know, most likely times that you fish this, you're going to have carp. But it's been nice to catch a mixture of F1s and some crucians, and earlier on I actually had a little tench as well. So it's always a little bit of a fun time sometimes when the carp aren't feeding, to try and look after different things. So hopefully, like I said, this has been helpful, and definitely apply it. You'll take apart wherever you're fishing using it. It's so good. And it don't feed them as much as normal corn does, and you get more yield out of it as well. So it is just a really good sort of method to try. So join us on the Facebook group at Angling For You. Join us on the Instagram at angling_for you if you want to put some pictures on there or tag us on things like that. If you look on the main YouTube channel and have a look on there, there's loads of different playlists, and that'll take you straight to what kind of videos you want to watch. Make it a lot easier and more helpful for you to find what you want to watch. So we're going for that. If you could like, share, subscribe, and put that little bell icon on to notify you when the videos come out, and then you won't miss any. And that's it from me. Thanks a lot, and until the next one, tight lines.